Right now, millions of people around the world are doing something humans have never done before. They are turning hunger off, not with discipline, not with diets, not with years of training. With a weekly injection, and for many people the results feel almost unreal. The cravings disappear. The constant mental noise goes quiet, food loses its grip, weight falls, lives change. It sounds like a medical miracle, and maybe it is. But hidden inside this revolution is a much bigger question, because Ozempic may not only be changing bodies. It may be exposing something deeply uncomfortable about modern civilization itself. What if obesity was never the real story? What if hunger was? And what if the real experiment was us all along? For almost all of human history, hunger was not the enemy, it was survival. Imagine Earth 50,000 years ago. No supermarkets, no refrigerators, no delivery apps. No endless shelves of snacks engineered by scientists. Food was uncertain. Some days there was abundance, many days there was not. Humans lived inside scarcity, and evolution responded. It built one of the most powerful systems in biology. A system designed to make you seek food, protect fat, store energy, crave sugar, prefer calories, reward eating, and panic during scarcity. Because for most humans who ever lived, starving was a bigger threat than obesity. Your brain still carries that ancient code, even now, inside a world it was never designed for. Because modern humans did something extraordinary. In just a few generations, we created abundance, infinite abundance, and evolution never caught up. Today, food is everywhere, cheap, fast, bright. Sweet, engineered, available 24 hours a day. Human biology met industrial civilization, and the results have been catastrophic. Global obesity rates exploded. Diabetes spread. Metabolic diseases climbed. Entire societies changed. For decades we told people the same story: eat less, move more, try harder, but millions did try harder and still failed, again and again. Then something strange happened. A medicine appeared, and suddenly people began saying the same sentence. I'm not hungry anymore, not forcing themselves, not fighting cravings. They simply stopped wanting food, and that shocked everyone because it suggested something radical. Maybe hunger was never just about willpower. Ozempic belongs to a family of drugs called GLP-1 agonists. At first glance, they seem simple. They mimic hormones involved in appetite and blood sugar control. But their effects felt bigger than expected. People described silence, not stomach silence, mental silence. The endless food thoughts vanished. The constant negotiation disappeared. For some people it felt like freedom. Others described grief, because food was never only food. Food is celebration, memory, comfort, identity, culture, reward, family, love. Humans do not merely eat calories, we eat meaning. And suddenly science touched the control panel. This is where the story becomes strange, because Ozempic did not just reduce eating. Researchers began noticing hints of broader effects. Some people reported reduced compulsive behaviors, less interest in alcohol, lower urges, different reward responses. Scientists are still studying these observations. Many questions remain, but they opened an unsettling possibility. What if appetite was connected to something larger? What if modern life itself runs on hijacked reward systems? Because look around, not just food, phones, notifications, streaming, shopping, endless scrolling, instant entertainment. Human civilization increasingly runs on attention and craving. And maybe the obesity crisis was only the first warning. Imagine taking a human from 10,000 years ago and placing them into today's world. They would think civilization is magic, infinite food, infinite stimulation, infinite pleasure, no scarcity. No waiting, no hunger. At first this sounds like paradise, but evolution has a strange rule. Systems built for scarcity often break under abundance. Take sugar. Ancient humans loved sweetness because it meant energy. Rare energy, valuable energy. Today sweetness is industrialized, mass-produced, everywhere. The ancient reward system remains. The environment changed, now apply this everywhere. Attention, entertainment, consumption, reward. Modern civilization became a machine optimized for desire, and desire has no finish line. You buy. You want more, you scroll, you keep scrolling, you eat, you crave again. Entire industries compete for one thing: human attention, human reward systems, human impulses. Because desire drives economies. And for the first time in history, we may possess technology capable of reducing desire itself. Think about how strange that is. Humans spent thousands of years trying to satisfy cravings. Now we are learning how to silence them. That is not merely medicine. That is philosophy, because it raises terrifying questions. If suffering decreases, what happens to motivation? If cravings vanish, what happens to pleasure? If appetite becomes adjustable, what happens to identity? Who are we without wanting? Imagine a man named Daniel. For 20 years he fights his body. Diets, exercise, shame, failure, hope, repeat. Every year begins the same. This time will be different. Every year ends the same. Then he tries Ozempic. 3 months later, the voice is gone. The constant pull disappears. He loses weight. People congratulate him. You finally found discipline. But Daniel feels confused. Because discipline was never the difference. The hunger changed. For the first time in his life, the battle stopped. Now imagine millions of Daniels. What happens when an entire society realizes the fight may not have been equal? The cultural consequences could be enormous, because many people built identities around personal responsibility. Success, failure, willpower, merit, but biology complicates everything. And when biology changes, stories change too. Most people think Ozempic is a health story. It may also become an economic story. Imagine millions eating less. Restaurants change, snack industries shift, food manufacturers adapt, healthcare systems transform, insurance models evolve. Consumer behavior moves, entire markets react. One molecule, global consequences. History has seen this before. Agriculture changed civilization. Antibiotics changed survival. The internet changed communication. Some technologies do not stay in one category. They reshape everything around them. GLP-1 drugs might become one of those technologies. Not because they help people lose weight, because they alter human behavior, and behavior shapes civilization. But there is something else, something darker. Modern humans are not only overeating. Many are emotionally starving. Loneliness rises, stress rises, isolation rises, anxiety rises. Humans evolved in tribes, small groups, shared struggle, shared purpose, shared meaning. Modern life created connection at scale, but often reduced intimacy. Food became more than fuel, it became therapy, reward, relief, a pause button, and maybe this is the deeper fear. What if we remove hunger without fixing the emptiness beneath it? Because medicine can reduce appetite, but it cannot create purpose. It cannot create belonging. It cannot replace meaning. The human heart still wants something, even when the stomach does not. What if history remembers Ozempic differently? Not as the drug that fought obesity, but as the drug that revealed civilization's design flaws. Because obesity may be the symptom, not the disease. The disease may be mismatch, ancient biology, modern abundance, infinite stimulation. Industrial food, engineered rewards, social isolation, chronic stress. Humans built a world faster than evolution could adapt, and bodies paid the price. Ozempic did not create this realization. It exposed it. Suddenly millions experienced life without relentless hunger, and many discovered something shocking. The struggle had not entirely been theirs. The environment mattered. Biology mattered. Systems mattered. That changes the conversation forever. Final escalation, the future of programmable desire. Now imagine the future. Today it is appetite. Tomorrow. Alcohol cravings, compulsive behaviors, impulse control, motivation, pleasure. Humanity may be entering an era where internal states become editable, not external tools, internal experiences. This is unprecedented. For thousands of years, humans changed the world outside themselves. Now we may begin changing the world inside, and that power comes with enormous responsibility. Because desire built civilization. Desire built cities, art, science, exploration, love, ambition. Everything humans created began with wanting something. If we learn to control desire, we must decide what remains. Ozempic is not the end of the story. It is the beginning. A mirror held up to modern humanity. It asks uncomfortable questions. Why are we so hungry? What changed? What did civilization optimize for? And what kind of humans are we becoming? Maybe the real lesson is not that medicine fixed hunger. Maybe it is that modern life amplified it, because humans evolved for a world that disappeared. And now we stand between two futures. one where technology endlessly exploits our impulses, and another where we finally understand them. The experiment was never only Ozempic. The experiment was civilization, a world of abundance testing brains built for scarcity. And perhaps for the first time, humans are beginning to notice.